Yeah, Vanessa's a boss. I mean, she's a champ, and especially, there's no other way to say it. You know, if the father is gone, then she has more to do, even more to do, and you could see her kind of growing. I don't presume to know what she's like before this, but you could see someone stepping up and being very strong at a time where her family obviously needs her. It was very impressive and moving.
Max Kellerman is one of the most successful sports analysts in the entire world. Before this was his brother, who had just as promising of a career, until the tragic day that was October 12th, 2004.
But I want to talk to you about one other thing that's important. I never got to see you immediately after your brother passed away. And first of all, my biggest condolences in the world, but how did you, was it 2010? Something like that?
It'll be 11 years.
Oh, it's been that long?
No, it'll be, 11 years.
So, without
it's not 2010, it's 04.
04, yeah. Wow. I can't.
So when you say brother, my mind goes, you know.
How, for other people who are dealing with an immense tragedy like that, obviously it helps you have two other brothers and you guys could all bond together over this, but still it doesn't change it. How did you go about getting...
the absence of one family member, for anyone who's lost a family member, particularly the closest to you. First of all, there's the subjective loss, right? Everyone experiences that. But objectively, my brother Sam was also a genius. He's a brilliant guy.
And was always your right hand, right? It was always.
I wouldn't say right hand. I would say that we were.
You guys were always together
always,
at the hip.
Yeah. So, how do you deal with it? I don't know, man. I 5 years. You know, it's funny. Nothing will erase your memory. You know, like trauma. I have patches in my memory that are gone, and it was 5 years before I could function like a regular human being. And then still, you know, it's rough. It's rough.
Well, listen, bless you. I was just happy to see.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That's great.
Sorry, Max.
I was just living my life, trying to get through my day.
I know, but it made me so happy to see your whole life come together, and the family and the kids and all the jobs. Because my wife went through the same thing. She lost a sibling, and so when I see other people go through something like that, when I got to be front row to seeing how hard it is, when you see someone go through it and prosper in spite of it, it's inspiring. So, we don't know each other well, but I've known you for many years. So I was always proud of how you've come along.
Well, I appreciate that. You do feel comfort from other people for a strange reason who've lost someone very close to them. It's a really terrible club to be in. The main thing is anyone listening to this is like, whew, I'm glad I'm not in that club, because that's how I used to feel. You know, you hear about someone losing a brother or a sibling, someone close to them, you think, a kid, I'm so glad that that's them and not me. That's exactly how you should feel. You should feel very glad it's not you. And may it never happen to you.
The kind-hearted person that was Sam Kellerman regrettably attempted to help his longtime friend and struggling boxer, James the Hammer Butler.
James Butler, who's been on my show, a good friend. He was named Fighter of the Year on Friday Night Fights. Congratulations, James. We're all very proud of you, man. Hello.
Butler was down on his luck, so Sam offered him a place to stay. A few short weeks later, Sam would pay the ultimate price. Late in the evening on October 17, 2004, detectives showed up at Sam Kellerman's Los Angeles apartment off Sunset Boulevard, responding to a call. On the floor laid Sam's body beneath a bloodied blanket, his skull bashed completely in. The apartment had been partially set on fire. Against the wall leaned a bloodied hammer. His car was missing, and so was his longtime friend, James Butler. To better understand Butler, he was a professional boxer with extreme bipolar disorder and violent tendencies. Sam, being a sports writer, had written an article about this very thing just days before his eventual passing. The article addressed Butler's struggle to control his violent impulses. After losing a charity boxing match, where part of his earnings were given to the families of the 9/11 victims, Butler took off his gloves and sucker punched his opponent while pretending to congratulate him on his victory. The bare-fisted punch broke his jaw and lacerated his tongue in two. This outburst is just a glimpse into the violent tendencies Butler struggled with.
That's the same score from Melvina Lathan, 97-93. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Richard the Alien Grant.
So Butler's number 8 ranking is going to take a hit. Richard Grant in the mild upset. A unanimous decision victory.
Oh, look at this.
Butler. Whoa! Butler just ran across the ring.
Butler just went over there and sucker punched and knocked out Grant.
Oh, boy.
Terrible. And the new commissioner, Ray Kelly, will do something very, very enforceful here.
You want to talk about Zab Judah and his antics, losing some money in a suspension. James Butler should never be allowed in the ring again.
Absolutely.
Never. That's assault. That is assault. He should be arrested on the spot. He should be arrested right on the spot. That is assault and battery.
This will be the first test for the new commissioner, Ray Kelly, and I know that he will handle this the right way.
What a punk. James Butler. And we're going to take a look at it one more time. Richard Grant, unanimous decision win. He turns to Butler to shake his hand, congratulate him.
Putting his arm out.
Boom. Right there. He was a coward and he couldn't get him during the fight, and he sucker punched him right there. And now Richard Grant is up on his own feet. Now they're going to escort Butler out of here. And they got him. The police are right there. They're going to escort him out. Ray Kelly, the commissioner, is right behind him. He is being taken out, and he should be thrown in a paddy wagon right now.
He was sentenced to 4 months at Riker Island for the assault, but even this couldn't change his violent ways.
This thing happens all the time. You know, I mean, boxers hit boxers after the fight. In sports that you're not supposed to fight, people hit people, and nothing like this ever occurs, like where someone goes to jail, especially like a boxer against a boxer. I can understand, like, you know, if it was a civilian, someone that had no skills or knowledge of boxing on the street, and I hit them, I mean, that's something you go away for, you know what I mean? But
Shortly after Sam's murder, police quickly zeroed in on Butler, considering who he was, where he had been, and where he had gone. So he turned himself in to authorities. At first he pled not guilty to the first-degree murder charge, but eventually accepted the lesser voluntary manslaughter and arson. He was sentenced to 29 years behind bars, where he remains to this day.